All right, Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, Rechak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders and bishops at Great Millstone for teaching me this truth. It's your brother Rabbi Knapp coming out with a lesson, Lord's wills edifying. Okay, let's see what's going on in this world, man. There's a lot of crazy news, man. I was watching, and you know, you just gotta be careful out there, man. There was people getting there was a situation in Philadelphia where some dude went to a store, man. He killed, man. He just went off on one dude, man. 15 and 16 years old. One's in critical condition. The other one got shot. He's going to jail. He's licensed to carry a gun. It's messy out here, man. Okay, and the Lord's always doing this every day, man. Every day. That's the first thing. And that was in Philly, and then I posted these news articles in the Post in case if it interests you. But all the way in Florida, dude goes to a Checkers. They got like a restaurant called Checkers. It's like not a Chick-fil-A, but it's sort of like one of those, smaller like chicken sandwich place. I've been there before too. It's a little hole in the wall, but in Orlando. So somebody went through the drive-through and this dude kills the one in the drive-through. So now it's opposite. Normally, the employee got to watch out for the person that's in the drive-through. But now, if you in the drive-through, you got to watch out for the person that's in the window, man. Anyways, you shouldn't be eating that crap. Anyways, it got full of chemicals. I mean, look it up for yourself, man. You got to be circumspect in these last days, man. The Lord's revealed so much to us in these last days, man. So much. Even taking care of yourself, man. All of it's part of just growing. You got to be growing, man. Okay. Ephesians 5 and verse 14. Wherefore he saith, awake thou that sleepest, and arise from the dead, and Hamashiach will give thee light. See then that ye walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise. Okay, so you got to know what's going on in this world, man. You can't be, some people don't like watching the news and seeing people get put to death. It's uncomfortable. Well, you don't want to be comfortable in this place, man. Okay. Ephesians 5:16, redeeming the time because the days are evil. Okay, so you got to consider these things. The days are evil. You kind of you gotta watch your mouth. You gotta be, you gotta be moving with wisdom to the best of your ability, man. Ultimately, it's the Lord. We gotta pray. We gotta do all these things. Okay, because man, the days are evil, man. Okay. So redeeming the time, understanding the time that you're in. And how can you do that if you still thinking about yesterday? Nah, man, today's a whole new day, man. You gotta, what's going on? What's the spirit like? You gotta be spiritual. Okay. Ephesians 5:17. Wherefore be ye not unwise, but understanding what the will of the Lord is. And the will of the Lord is for you to be keeping these commandments to the best of your ability. Okay. And you gotta be seeking them, man. Okay, let's jump over to Micah 2 and 10, because you know, talking about being comfortable here, man. This ain't your rest, man. Okay? Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest. So getting comfortable here, you don't want to be comfortable. Babylon can put you to sleep easily. Okay? That's why it's good to go search and see what's going on in the world, and it'll wake you up real quick, man. Okay? It'll wake you up, man. Okay? So arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted, it shall destroy you, even with the sword destruction. So you don't want to be destroyed, man. Okay? If you at rest, you ain't watching, you're gonna be destroyed, man. Okay? Lord's not fooling around. As a matter of fact, Ecclesiasticus chapter 5. We're going to look into some things, see what's popping. Verse 15, be not ignorant of anything in a great matter or small. So, you know, you might not know about geopoliticals, but you should know about geopolitics and economics. That's what the Lord, just watching, seeing about what's prophesied to happen, the famines, the pestilence, the wars, you're going to indirectly be learning about all these things, about geopolitics and economics, foreign policies that Duck got going on. Okay, as a matter of fact, I was just looking on X, and Duck is trending right now. At West Point, where did I put I think I put it here. But interesting. So he just did a speech. It's 18 minutes ago. He's at West Point. Okay, if you don't know where West Point is, I've been there before. This is where let's just look it up. I think George Washington went there. I think something like that. West Point refers to the United States Military Academy, USMA, a co-educational federal service academy located in West Point, New York. It is the oldest of the 5 American service academies. West Point is known for educating cadets to become commissioned officers in the United States Army. Okay, let's do a little history. Here's a more detailed look at West Point. Founded in 1802, the academy was established to train officers for the growing U.S. Army. Okay, and it's funny how, he wants to grow it. As a matter of fact, he just got rid of a bunch of transgenders and all that. Supposedly, I picked up somebody that was in the military for over 20 years. She was clear lesbian, man. Is she gonna kick her out? She's been to war. She's been through mad shit, man. And she says she won't go back. Okay, so some people, that's their mindset, man. Don't sleep because they, Babylon's military is out of their mind, man. West Point is situated on high ground overlooking the Hudson River, about 50 miles north of New York City. West Point is liberal arts college. Okay, why? I don't know why I got George Washington in my head, because I think he led a rebellion. Let's see what it says. George Washington considered West Point a fortified location on the Hudson River to be the most important post in America during the American Revolution. He made it his headquarters in 1779 and actively worked to maintain Patriot control throughout the war. The West Point strategic location at a bend in the Hudson River made it a key point for controlling the river of the flow of communication and supplies between the northern and southern colonies. Now, I've been there before, and they were going into the history of it, and they were putting shit in the Hudson River to stop the boats that were coming from the British, and then they would fucking just destroy them. Okay, but so that's what Duck's at, man. So these people are supposedly, let me see if I can get a picture. I'll go back to people graduating. I don't know, man, because you gotta watch out with X, man. Shit be popping up. And I don't want to get any strikes right now, man. There's some shit that you can't control. What the hell be popping up in this? But I wanted to use this. It says Eric Doherty, assistant news director. I don't follow him, but this is his post 21 minutes ago. It says West Point Army graduates with an interesting reaction. Sounds like they view China as an enemy and not Russia. And I thought that was funny, because Russia's that's the bear, man. Trump, I'm gonna go back now to deal with Russia. Silence to deal with China. Booze. Let's listen to this. Listen to this. Back down to deal with Russia. Hold on. Just their reaction to what he's saying. Back down to deal with Russia. To deal with China. And I don't know if this is too loud. Let me try to turn this down, because sometimes this be bugged out. Back down. It's too.
to deal with Russia, to deal with China. What's that all about? That's a little. And to get you lots of victories. So we're going to keep winning. This country is going to keep winning. And with you, the job is easy. I want to thank you all. Congratulations to the class of 2025. God bless you all. Back now to deal with Russia, to deal with China.
So when he says to deal with Russia, they don't say anything. But then when he says to deal with China, they start to boo.
Back now to deal with Russia, to deal with China. What's that all?
You know, so hey man, it's showing you, man, nobody wants it with the bear. Okay. The mighty men of Babylon. Let's see what pops up. Jeremiah 51 and 30. It says the mighty men of Babylon, which are your military. These graduates at West Point, they're training to be mighty men. Have forborne to fight. Okay, they don't want to fight. Because look who they're going up against, man. Let's look at this word forborne. Forborne is the past participle of the verb forbear, meaning to abstain, refrain, or hold back from doing something. Yeah, they're forborne to fight, man. They abstain. They refrain to fight. They have remained in their holds. Their might have failed. They became as women. And that's literally, man. You know, this is the US military, man, is not like the men of old. But honestly, a lot of people were in the closet but back then, but through Esau's experiments, the shit that he's putting in your food, man, there was fine like estrogen and plastics, just all types of stuff, man. Putting that weak feminine spirit. Who knows? You know, your kid when it's born, they're jabbing him up off the rip. You know, put fucking his whole chemical makeup it gets messed up, and then you know the TV programming, and then you go to school and the manipulation is just this is what's creating all of this shit, man. Esau, man. I forgot what I was even gonna look for. He ain't right, man. What I say? I forgot what I was gonna look for, but let's read it again. Jeremiah 51 and 30. The mighty men of Babylon have forborne to fight. They have remained in their holds. Their might have failed. They become as women. They have burned her dwelling places. Her bars are broken. Oh yeah, so them becoming as women, man. Um, you know, just being acting like a woman, man. Trans in the military. Trump executive order. I should have put. Let's see what pops up though. It wasn't too long ago this month, man. So the Supreme Court allows Trump to implement transgender military ban. You know, you talk about forborne to fight, man. Supreme Court on Tuesday allowed President Duck to implement his ban on transgenders serving in the military. The justice granted an emergency request for the Duck administration to lift a nationwide injunction blocking the policy while litigation continues. Okay, but what does it do? No more trans. DOD Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth said on X in a separate Defense Department post earlier Tuesday before the decision was issued. Hegseth said in a video, "No more dudes in dresses. We are done with this shit." Okay, so supposedly kicking them out, man. Well, you probably gotta get rid of the majority of that military, because that's who's joining it, man. People with that's why they joined it in the first place, so they can have all these different, you know, these so they can have um, the gender. I think they call it gender affirming care. That's exactly what they call it. in the military under Biden. So a lot of people joined, and other benefits too, but this was a main push. A bunch of people joined the military because of this, man. And West Point is a when you go there, a lot of the people that go there, they come from all different. It's not just Americans going to West Point, man. You got France, you got a lot of foreigners in the military, man. So most of majority of you Americans are not even like in, what they identify as. They might speak English, but they don't identify with the modern day American. And you know that I went there and even went to the bar with some of these people at West Point, man. And let me tell you something, man. This was years ago, so they were. I was with these girls, man, and one of them was like, "Yo, this dude was trying to touch me, man." I was like, I went and checked one of the dudes, and yo, I'm telling you, they were kind of, they were a little fruity, man. I was like, I was like, I couldn't believe it, and that's at West Point, you know. So I don't know. This is what you're joining. This is who you're gonna be fighting with. Ultimately, you're gonna be fighting up against Yahweh Shai, but this ain't the place where you want to be, man. Okay, so they forbore to fight. Jeremiah 51, 56. Because the spoilers come upon her, even unto Babylon, and her mighty men are taken. Every one of their bows is broken. For the Lord God of recompenses shall surely require it. Yeah, man. Your bows are broken, man. You're going to be destroyed. And that's why they didn't say anything. Ezekiel 30 and victory for Babylon. Um, Ezekiel 30 and 20. And it came to pass in the 11th year, in the first month, in the 7th day of the month, that the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, I have broken the arm of Pharaoh, king of Egypt. And lo, it shall not be bound up to be healed, to put a roller to bind it, to keep it strong, to hold the sword. So the Lord, that's what he's doing, man. He's broken the arm of Pharaoh the king. Hey, you need your arm to fight, man. In the form of the Lord breaking Pharaoh king of Egypt's arm, is look at who he's allowing to come in there. Yeah, you might deny the fact that, nah, I ain't transgender, or nah, I ain't none of that, just so you can get in there and then the same as before. Okay? You're not even in West Point, you're not even supposed to have a relationship with somebody else at West Point, but they still do it. You're not supposed to do that. Even a heterosexual relationship there. How much more is it easier for you to be a homosexual if they put all the guys in one spot and all the girls in one spot? That's what's going on at West Point, man. Okay, and these people, this is 2025. This is the new string of people who actually, because West Point's not an easy program to get into. You need you need credentials from your governor, and I think you need like three governors, one of them, but I think you need some people that are like that need to put in a good word for you. I forgot the word I'm looking for, but and then after 2 years you can quit, and not pay anything to West Point. But after the third year, when you join it, they then you're really committed and you have to finish the program, or you owe um tuition and all of that shit. But for 2 years, you get to just say you went to West Point. You could have just left and say, "Hey, I went to West Point for 2 years," and that's huge too, because then that'll propel a lot of people use West Point to propel themselves to go into these other schools like Harvard University, these other schools, because now you got some prestige about you because you went to West Point. Okay, but none of these credentials, none of that's gonna matter in the time of war. Okay, you're not really fit to go against Russia, man. Okay, and prophecy ain't working on your side. Isaiah 13 in verse was it 17, I think? Yeah, Isaiah 13 and 17. It says Babylon, which is America, will fall to the Medes, which is Russia. So this is why spiritually they understand it, man. These devils, they know, man. It's the scriptures tell you the devils know the devils know the Lord and they tremble. So they know, man. Their time is up. Let me see, James 2:19. Thou believest that there is one God that doeth well. The devils also believe and tremble. See, so they know. They know, man. Spiritually, they know, man. Now we don't want it with you don't want it with China either. You don't want it with China, man. But it's just the spirit that they didn't. They were silent when they mentioned the Medes, man. Because it's like spirit understands, man. You know, that's what I'm picking up on. That these devils know, man. Like, damn, man, it's almost that time. Isaiah 13 and 17. Behold, I will stir up the Medes against them. Just talking about the Russians against you Americans, which shall not regard silver, and as for gold, they shall not delight in it. So you're not gonna be able to bargain or negotiate. So they're not gonna want any of that. They just want your blood, man. Their bows also shall dash the young men in pieces. You see them, the cadets. You know, they all. You know, you look up at West Point. They look good, man, but they're gonna be dashed into pieces. Look at what's happening with Ukraine, man. They're still trying to pull people off the street, throw them in a van. 2 weeks later, they're throwing them into Kiev, and then you see what's going on with the drone strikes. Russia got some. I got a I forgot the name of this video I watched. This is on YouTube, man. They shooting drones down with. They got this drone killer, man. And they just shoot it in the air, and then it follows the drone and just puts it to death. But why ain't Ukraine's dying? Like, why? Where's your equipment? How will you? How you don't have an answer for these drones? You're gonna lose. Okay. And Russia's warning them, hey, we about to attack this place. You better run. They're telling them what they're gonna do. They're beating them. It's ugly what they're doing to them, man. You got no chance, no chance, man. And Esau's not. This is the Lord breaking his bow, man. Their bows also shall dash the young men to pieces. Their weaponry is going to dash you to pieces. And they shall have no pity on the fruit of the womb, children. Their eyes shall not spare children. They're not going to care about any of that. In Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees' excellency shall be as when the Most High overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. Okay, so Sodom and Gomorrah got utterly destroyed. Okay, it's the same thing that's going to happen here. You don't see it. Hey, this sucks to be you. Isaiah 9 and 5. For every battle of the warriors with confused noise and garments rolled in blood, but this shall be with burning and fuel of fire. Okay, it's going to be with burning and fuel of fire, man. It ain't going to be no swords and archers. And well, the modern day archers are those missiles, but and you know, drones. It ain't gonna be the same. Burning and fuel of fire. It's gonna be quick, man. They ain't gonna have enough. They're gonna be opening the draft soon. And a lot of y'all signed a promissory note when you went to school, right? You're defaulting on the loan. Well, guess what? You already enrolled in the draft. You enrolled your name in the draft. Okay? So you agreed to the terms of going to get hit with with these missiles. Isaiah 9 and 19. Through the wrath of the Lord of hosts is the land darkened, and the people shall be as the fuel of the fire. No man shall spare his brother. And that's talking about you, man. Okay. Well, that's talking about everybody. That's talking about Babylon, because the Lord got a sacrifice here in Basra. Okay. Let me finish this up. Ezekiel 30 and 22. Therefore, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, behold, I am against Pharaoh, king of Egypt. The modern day king of Egypt, or Pharaoh is Esau, and will break his arms. Okay, so hold on. In 21, he said I have broken the arm, but now he's saying he's gonna break your other arm, the strong and that which was broken, and I will cause the sword to fall out of his hand. So you're gonna lose if you can't fight, man. Okay, you're gonna be destroyed if you ain't got any if you can't pick up your sword, man. You go into battle and you can't pick up your sword, you're gonna be destroyed. Ezekiel 21 And 8, again, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, prophesy and say, Thus saith the Lord, say, a sword is sharpened and also furbished. And it's talking about this thermonuclear missile that Russia got. It is sharpened to make a sore slaughter. You got a sore slaughter here in Basra. Okay. Isaiah 34. It is furbished that it may glitter. Should we then make mirth? It contemneth the rod of my son as every tree. And he have given it to be furbished that it may be handled. The sword is sharpened, and it is furbished. So give it into the hand of the slayer. And that's what Russia's gonna do. They're gonna slay the beast. That's what we was just reading in Isaiah the 13th chapter. And that's why y'all are quiet, because you understand this through the spirit.
Back now to deal with Russia, to deal with China. What's
Yeah. Duck's even laughing at you, man. Ultimately, it's the Lord. Okay. North Carolina. What's going on here? North Carolina official. What happened? The Amish have once again been spotted this morning in western North Carolina working to rebuild the Chimney Rock area. According to locals, they are establishing a small neighborhood of tiny homes along the river in the hardest hit areas. It says, God bless the Amish. And you know what? The Amish, they're probably, you look into them, you really don't hear about them, man. But they're the ones who are in this society but not really affected by it. You can learn a lot from them, man. They don't they don't live like anybody else, man. Okay, now that's a bunch of Edomites too, but still, they sticking to what they believe in, and that's why you should be doing the same thing too. They don't need a big huge house. All of this work that they're saving so much money by doing this, man. They do all their own work. It's all eternal. You know, you talk about a community. They off camera. You barely hear about them. And every time I hear something about them, they're doing something pretty much honorable. They don't use cell phones like we do. They got all this fucking tech on. You can check your email and all that shit. They using cell phones with minutes, like back in the day. Less radiation. They're way simple, man. This is what you can learn a lot from that, man. You got to seek the old paths, man. Now, don't get me wrong, them motherfuckers are wicked as hell, man. I be hearing all types of shit about them. Let's grab that. Jeremiah 6:16. They be doing some shit. But we got to get back to our old paths, man. Jeremiah chapter 6 and verse 16. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh Bahashem Yahushua, stand ye in the ways and see and ask for the old paths. Where is the good way, and walk therein, and ye shall find rest for your souls. But they said, we will not walk therein. So you'll find rest for your soul. Okay, you with these scriptures, man. Okay, ultimately leading us up to the kingdom, because the Lord needs to bring us to this rest. Okay, let's look at that word rest as a matter of fact. It just says rest, a place of rest, and no other precepts to go with it. Just it's very simple. A resting place. That's what we need, man. Psalms 23. We need a resting place. Psalms 23 and I start at the top. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restoreth my soul. He leadeth me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. So we need to be following Yahweh Shai, man. So he can lead us in the path of righteousness. We need to believe on him as the scriptures have said, not taught by the precepts of men. Book of John 7:38. Actually, I'll start at John 7:37. In the last day, the great day of the feast, Yahweh Shai stood and cried, saying, If any man thirst, let him come unto me and drink. He that believeth on me, as the scripture have said, out of his belly shall flow rivers of living water. But this spake he of the Spirit, which they that believe on him should receive, for the Holy Spirit was not yet given, because that Yahweh Shai was not yet glorified. So you got to believe on him as the scriptures have said, man. And that's what's going to lead you in the paths of righteousness, because he tells you to keep the commandments. He kept the commandments perfectly. And where is he at? He's at rest. Well, he's on the right hand. He's exalted. Okay. And that's where we need to be, in an exalted state, so we don't have to deal with the shit that we go through with Esau, man. Even if you living okay in your mind, you've tried, you came to terms with your oppression, and you're in a good state. You might say, okay, yeah, I'm low, I ain't got nothing, but you know what, you know, you have some false equation in your head. Yeah, you know, I'm okay. Okay, even if you think that, okay, just know there's a damn devil, okay, who's doing all forms of wickedness above you, okay, that's causing this oppression while you trying to, in your mind, come up with a way to be okay here. See, the Lord will wake you up to that and say, nah, fuck this devil. Get this devil up off me. And the only way you're going to do that is coming to the knowledge and the respect and the understanding of Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai. First of all, it's a respect for yourself. Okay, it's the most importantly is him, but you have no respect for nothing if you don't have any respect for what the Lord has done and what He is doing and what He has written. If you don't have the whole volume, if you ain't eat the whole roll, man, you don't know what respect is, man, or you ain't putting it in its proper place. But that is a good start of you starting to understand why this place needs to go. Why Esau needs to go into captivity. Okay. Psalms 23:4. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Just like a shepherd, man. If his sheep gets out of line, he's going to correct them. And at the same time, he's going to protect them. Okay. This is our Lord. This is the shepherd. And he sent other shepherds, which are other teachers that are following Yahweh Shai. You got to get in line with the Lord. Psalms 23:5. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of my enemies. Thou anointest my head with oil. My cup runneth over. Okay. When you look at this word table in Italian, it goes back to the word banca. Or maybe it doesn't. A table in Latin, probably. Definition, I think. How do I find it? I think that's what I'm trying to write. I think it's banca, something like that. In Latin, the word table is not banca. The word banca or banco in Italian and some other language meaning bank actually has its origins in the word for bench or table, referring to the tables used by money changers in the Middle Ages. The Latin words for table are tabula and mensa. Tabula can mean board, tablet, or table. Okay, so Italian. The Italian word banca does not directly translate to table in English. It refers to a financial institution, specifically a bank, and is derived from the word banco, which means bench or counter. The word banco originally referred to the bench or counter where money changers conducted their business in medieval Italian markets. So banca, bank, bench slash a counter. So it doesn't directly translate. Translate table and tell you would use tavolo or tavola depending on the specific context. So like a bench or a bank. Okay. The word is etymologically origin of banker. Historically, money changers and lenders would sit on benches or behind counters in marketplaces, which is where the term banco and later banca evolved to refer to the place where these financial transactions occurred. And that's what this is, man. This is a financial transaction, okay, that the Lord prepared by giving you this wisdom and knowledge, okay? And this is what he's doing. He's setting up the bank. You need a, what do you do with a bank? You invest. You put your money in that bank, man. That's how you storing up your riches in heaven. You're getting this knowledge. You're applying it. You're listening. You're the Lord's dealing with you. Okay. Thou anointest my head with oil. Oil is symbolic of understanding. My cup runneth over. So you're gonna have the ability to do more. You're gonna be have the ability to abound. Okay, abound. First Corinthians 4, I think. No, I'm getting Second Corinthians. Um, Second Corinthians 9 and 8. And God is able to make all grace abound toward you, that ye always having all sufficiency in all things may abound to every good work. Hold on. Where am I looking for the word? I thought I was in Corinthians, but I might be going off. Um, because therefore, as ye abound in everything, in faith, in utterance, in knowledge, and in diligence, and in your love to us, see that ye abound in grace also. What precept am I looking for? I don't know why I was thinking First Corinthians 4. Let me see. First Corinthians 4, let a man so account of us as of the ministers of Mashiach and stewards of the mysteries of God. Moreover, it is required in stewards that a man be found faithful. Okay. That's not it. I don't know what I'm looking for. But you want to abound, man. I think I want to look at that word abound, but I can't think of what precept I'm thinking about. Uh, Romans 15:13. Now the God of hope fill you with all joy and peace in believing, that ye may abound in hope through the power of the Holy Spirit. Ooh, that's a beautiful precept. Let me look at that word abound. Romans, 15 and 13. That's a beautiful precept. Abound. May abound. Increase. Yeah, to exceed a fixed number of measure. It's the same word, same definition, but I can't remember what precept I'm actually trying to get. Okay. This is what this oil's going into, man. To exceed a fixed number of measure. This is your cup running over. To be left over and above a certain number of a measure. To excel, more than, exceed, to make, to abound, to furnish one richly so that he has abundance, to make abundant or excellent. Okay? This is your cup running over, man. Okay? Most importantly, to exceed a fixed number of measure, man. This is what you want. You want, let me go back, see if I can find it, because I know I was thinking Corinthians first. Or maybe it's abounding, see? Therefore, my beloved brethren, be ye steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord, for as much as ye know that your labor is not in vain in the Lord. This is what I was looking for. It was abounding. 1 Corinthians 15 and 58. It's the same word. You know, you look at that word abounding. This is your cup running over. Same word. Okay? Same definition and everything. To be eminent. To be preeminent. Let's see what that means. This is your cup running over, man. Surpassing all others. Very distinguished in some way. So, greatest, leading, foremost, best, finest, chief. Outstanding, excellent, distinguished, prominent, eminent, important, major, star, top tier, topmost, famous, renowned, celebrated, illustrations. This is what this knowledge will eventually, when you get in the kingdom, man. Okay? All words that describe the elect, matchless, peerless, unmatched, arch, transcendent, marquee, supreeminent, okay? Leading, foremost, greatest, man. Okay? Let's go into abounding, to excel. And that's what the elect are going to do. What precept was that? 1 Corinthians 15 and 58, man. And that also is talking about the mystery of the resurrection, that new body. But it starts on this side, man. Okay, you need to be constantly abounding all the way to you're gonna always be abounding forever, man. But it starts on this side. Okay. Psalms 23 and 5, thou preparest a table before me in the presence of my enemies. Thou anointest my head with oil, my cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, forever. It's a beautiful song. But going back to that table, man, it is a business. This is a business. Okay. You ever worked for a business before? You got to be on time. You got to work to do these things, man. Where am I going? Let's go to Luke 2 and 49. And he said unto them, how is it that ye sought me? Wist ye know not that I must be about my father's business? He was a young man when he said this. Okay. Romans 12 and 11, not slothful in business, fervent in spirit, serving the Lord. Okay, let's look at that word fervent. Zeal, fervent, to boil with heat, be hot, used of water, used of boiling anger, love, zeal for what is good or bad, fervent in spirit, said of zeal for what is good. Just look at that, man. Be hot, man. Be fervent, having or displaying a passionate intensity. Okay? All of that. Beautiful. Much time. I don't want to spend too much time. Yep. Time to fly by here. I'm gonna jump over. Oh, Shalom Ashricha Yasharala. Shalom Malak. Yahabashanel Shabarakatah. Fervent, man. Okay. So I just want to see what other, because what inspired me today is actually, I didn't even get into it, but I'm going to, Lord's will. Um, West Point. So it's going down now. Where is it? It ain't here. Damn. But it was talking about Amalek today. I got it somewhere. I tucked it over here. Listen to this shit. It says they don't see themselves as European and they're not Christian and they're actually hostile to those things. Fuentes and Alex discuss what the West means and where Jews fit in. And there was another article about Esau talking about Europeans, or so-called white people, or the white man, whatever, saying how he doesn't where they native to. And I was thinking about doing a lesson on it, but because they're Edomites, man. But the scriptures tell you they're gonna be fugitive and vagabonds. But it's funny. But let me grab this though.
On slightly is the terminology of the West. I don't like the terminology of the West because I think it's too broad. I think that when we talk about who we are and what we represent in America and Europe, it's Christendom. That's the thing that historically binds us together. It's the
Christendom. So Christianity binds small hat with the with the with the modern day Edomite. Um, I just want to look up that word Christendom. The worldwide body or society of Christians. Okay, it just kind of encompasses it all.
Catholic Church and Christendom broadly. And I also think it's that we're white. We come from the Roman Empire. We come from Greece. We come from this legacy. We also come from the Germanic tribes. We come from that place.
Oh, so you just exposed yourself. You claim to be a Roman. You claim to be this. You claim to be the Greeks. You claim to be Germanic. All going back to Esau. Okay? Because Isaiah 34 and 5, for my soul shall be bathed in heaven, behold, it shall come down upon Idumea and upon the people of my curse to judgment. Okay? When does this sword fall upon Idumea? It hasn't. We read about those sword and it's coming. Edom. Edom. Idumea. Edom. Okay? But let's look at this word. Edomite, Idumean, descendants of Esau, land of Edom, Idumea, land south and southeast of Palestine. Okay? But when you look at the word Idumea is the Greek word for Edom. Let's just find that. Idumea. Let's see, definition. Idumea is the Greek name for the ancient land of Edom, a region historically located south of ancient Judah in what is now southern Jordan. Okay, It's associated with the descendants of Esau, Esau being the brother of Jacob. In the Bible, the name Idumea essentially means land of the Edomites, reflecting the Greek transliteration of the Hebrew word Edom, which itself means red. Esau. Okay. And that's what, so Edom is the Idumea is the Greek word. So the Greeks were Idumeans. The Romans were Idumeans. How do we know? Let's check out Herod. Okay. This is Esau, a damn Idumean. Okay. And this is Herod the Great. When you read a little bit about him, the name of a royal family that flourished among the Jews in the times of Hamashiach and the apostles, Herod the Great was the son of Antipater of Idumea, appointed king of Judea BC by the Roman Senate at the suggestion of Antony and the consent of Octavian. He at length overcame the great opposition which the country made to him and took possession of the kingdom in BC 37. So Antipater of Idumea was Herod the Great's father. Okay, appointed by the Romans. Hold on, weren't the Jews being persecuted during the Roman Empire? He's claiming to be the oppressor during that time.
And I think that what makes Jews in Israel sort of outside of that is they don't see themselves as European or descendants of the Roman Empire, and they're not Christian, and they're actually hostile to those things. And you see it all the time. People like Ben Shapiro say that Europeans are inherently anti-Semitic. It's in our blood. It's genetic.
See, and he don't want to associate himself with you. Okay. Esau hates himself, man. It's the craziest thing, man. Esau just absolutely hates himself. And that's, hey, it's prophetic. Mark 3:23. And he called them unto him and said unto them in parables, how can Satan cast out Satan? Yeah, how is Amalek casting out Esau? What the hell's going on here? Let's go. Since he loves 666 so much, the Lord put him in Genesis 36 chapter. Genesis 36:1. Now these are the generations of Esau, who was Edom. So now we know Idumea goes back to Edom. And Esau, who was Edom. Okay? Genesis 36:8. Thus dwelt Esau in Mount Seir. Esau is Edom. So now we know Esau is Edom. But I wanted to jump up a little bit. Genesis 36:4. Actually, I'll just keep reading. Genesis 36:2. Esau took his wives of the daughters of Canaan, Adah, the daughter of Elon the Hittite, and Aholibamah, the daughter of Anah, the daughter of Zibeon the Hivite. Read Wisdom of Solomon, the 12th chapter, to learn about these damn Canaanites. They're disgusting. And Esau took wives of them. In Beth-Shemeth, Ishmael's daughter is sister of Nebajoth, and Adah bare Esau Eliphaz. Okay? And Bath-Shemath bare Rule. And Aholibamah bare Joash, and Jalam and Korah. These are the sons of Esau, which were born unto him in the land of Canaan. And Esau took wives, and his sons, okay, Eliphaz, his sons and his daughters, and all the persons of his house, and his cattle, and all his beasts, and all his substance which he had got in the land of Canaan, and went into the country from the face of his brother Jacob, for their riches were more than that they might dwell together in the land wherein they were. Strangers could not bear them because of their cattle. Sort of like what happened with Abram and Lot. Okay, so Esau was abundant. Descendants of Esau. I'm trying to get to Amalek, which is the small hat. And these are the generations of Esau, the father of the Edomites in Mount Seir. So that's their forefather. Here's the point. And the sons of Eliphaz were Teman, Omar, Zepho, and Gatam, and Kenaz. And Timnah was the concubine of Eliphaz's Esau's son. And she bare to Eliphaz Amalek These were the sons of Adah, Esau's wife. Okay, so Amalek is Esau's grandson, which is a small hat. He took his blessing. Now he's mad. That's why y'all don't fit together. Dweller in the valley, and you were dwelling in the valley with the Canaanites. Son of Eliphaz by his concubine Timnah, grandson of Esau, and progenitor of a tribe of people in southern Canaan, descendants of Amalek. Okay, this is where he's from, man. People who hate the actual Israelites, man, the biblical Israelites, they hate them. You can read Exodus the 17th chapter, Numbers 13 and 30. What's that talking about? He hates us, man. He hates us. That's why he funded those slave ships. Okay? He hates us. And then he wants to scream, bullshit. Bullshit, Amalek. Bullshit. Shame on you. Shame on you. That's what they do when they walk by a Christian. They go, and Caleb stilled the people before Moses and said, let us go up at once and possess it, for we are well able to overcome it. Yeah, that's not talking about Amalek. That's talking about Israel, man. But actually, I was looking for hindermost. That's what he likes to do. He likes to attack the hindermost. Genesis, no. I can't even find it. Amalek, hindermost, something like that. Amalek, hindermost. KJV, something like that. Deuteronomy 25:17. Yes. Let's grab that real quick. I always forget this precept. Maybe the Lord will allow me to remember it. Deuteronomy 25 in verse, what's the head title actually? Did I skip it? It says sun-dry laws. Okay. This is a law. Okay. Deuteronomy 25 verse 17. Remember what Amalek did unto thee by the way, when ye were come forth out of Egypt, how he met thee by the way, and smote the hindmost, not the hindermost, the hindmost of thee. Okay, even all that were feeble behind thee, when thou was faint and weary, and he feared not God. Okay, that's why he don't relate with the Christians and the Catholics, man. You don't want to know what he's doing in these synagogues, man. To cut off, to attack the rear, smite the tail, smite the hindmost. Let me look at this word, hindmost. That's what he does, man. And that's what he's doing in Palestine. He's smiting the hindmost, the furthest back. Imagine you're leaving a place. You're on foot. Who's gonna be in the way back? You're gonna have kids, young infant babies and women and old women, the old people, because they're not gonna be able to keep up with the younger and the more, and that's what he was doing, smiting them, man. And the Lord said, don't forget that. And you know what? This is why you're supposed to keep the commandments. Never gonna forget it, Lord's will. Deuteronomy 25 and verse 19. Therefore it shall be, when the Lord thy God hath given thee rest from all thine enemies round about in the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee for an inheritance to possess it, that thou shalt blot out the remembrance of Amalek from under heaven. Thou shalt not forget it. And we ain't gonna forget it. Okay.
That's why I'm a little bit skeptical when, now after October 7th, a lot of these Israelis and Jewish people, they want to say, oh, well, now we have this epiphany. Now we're against immigration too. It's like, I don't think so. For the past 10 years, you were anti-white, you were anti-America, you were calling Trump a fascist.
Oh, the ADL even made the pivot after October 7th because they...
Shut up. I can't listen to him, man. This dude Jones is full of shit. His name, dude who posted this a couple days ago, his name is Fontes Updates. I don't follow him, but he does. He has a lot of good talking points. I mean, he has 49.2K followers. But yeah, Esau, man, he's a damn vagabond, man. He don't have nowhere, man. He's just a fugitive and a vagabond. Okay. Genesis 4:12. When thou tillest the ground, it shall not henceforth yield unto thee her strength. A fugitive and a vagabond shall thou be in the earth. That's what you are. You're a wandering servant. Okay. That's all you are, man. A damn servant. The damn scum of the earth. Vagabond. Let's look this up. To move to and fro, just like a damn devil, man. Just like a that's a spirit, man. To and fro. With it. Yahweh asked Satan. He said, "Where'd you go?" Okay. Job 2:2, and the Lord said unto Satan, "From whence comest thou?" And Satan answered the Lord and said, "From going to and fro in the earth, and from walking up and down in it." Talking about this damn Amalekite. Wander aimlessly to take flight. Okay. To bemoan oneself. Pathetic. He's just a pathetic animal. Beast. Vagabond. Let's look this word up in the just a regular. A vagabond is a person who wanders from place to place without a fixed home or employment. Okay, they are sometimes described as homeless or vagrant, though the term vagabond can also be used more generally to describe someone with a restless or nomadic lifestyle. That's what you are, man. You're just a wandering servant, going to and fro on the earth, committing all types of wickedness, and you're a fugitive. Just like Cain in Genesis, the 4th chapter, for killing his brother Jacob, Abel, Salakia. Let me read that. Cain said to the Lord, "My punishment is greater than I can bear. Behold, thou hast driven me out this day from the face of the earth, and from thy face shall I be hid, and I shall be a fugitive and a vagabond in the earth. And it shall come to pass that everyone that findeth me shall slay me." And it's going to come to pass. Okay? Because you're being revealed. It's being the damn devil. All right? And the Lord said unto, this is why you're being protected, man. 15th verse. But that's you being a fugitive and a vagabond. Okay, you in everybody else's land except your own. Because you don't want people to know who you are, but the elect know. The hopeful elect know. And those who the Lord revealed it to. But you're going to be revealed in your time, which is now. But, oh, actually, you know what? Oh, yeah, I'm going to have to end it right there. Lord's will, that was edifying. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakha, Kodash, Shalom.